Today we're moving the stereo from a 2010 Toyota Highlander. We have it in the shop today because the single CD player is not working, and we're going to go through the steps removing this stereo and show you how this gets out of the dash so you can get it repaired. We place the key in the ignition, and we're going to shift to a lower gear here. This will give us a little bit more dash room here in the front. And with our pry bar, we're going to start with opening the glove box first and pry along the right side of the panel on the dash. And this is sometimes it takes finding several spots. It can release a little bit and allow you to find a pry spot along the panel here along the edge. And we're going to start at the right side, and this is going to loosen the whole panel that comes around the dash. There we go. And work our way over to the left. Pull this panel from the dash. Now it is connected, so we're going to twist it and let it sit to the side for right now. We have one connector here at the auxiliary port, and this has a trigger on it, and this trigger is on the top, and you squeeze that down and it releases the lock on it. When you push it down, it releases. The cigarette lighter is pretty much a release by pulling. This is going to allow us to get access to the AC controls that we're going to grasp on both sides and pull that directly from the dash. Next, we're going to take our pry bar and move up to the top of the stereo and pry the panel out from the top of the dash. And this panel will pull forward, and we're going to set that up on the top of the dash. This is going to give access to the mounting screws for the car stereo, and we're going to start at the bottom here. And on the bottom right, we have one 10mm bolt and one here on the left as well. We're going to remove both these screws. We have a full library of removal guides for speakers, stereos, and amplifiers on our website. See our website, carstereohelp.com. Now we've got the two bottom screws removed, and this is going to allow us to move up to the top. We have the display, which is part of the bracket here as well, for the radio, and one screw on the right and one here on the left. And we're going to remove this second screw at the top, and this is going to allow us to grasp the edges of the radio and pull it from the dash. There are clips on the front here as well, clips along the edges here that'll release when you pull it from the dash. First, we're going to start with the display unit, and there is a connector on the back of this. We're going to push the trigger down on it and release it. This connector again has a trigger on the top of it here, and if you push this trigger down, it releases the lock and allows you to remove the stereo. Okay, we do have, and in this case here, the airbag sensor light, which is part of this front display. We can disconnect the stereo by removing the antenna and all the connectors to the back of the radio, releasing the triggers. The antenna is just a pull to release. The three main connectors into the back of the stereo have triggers on them, and you squeeze or push each trigger down on each connector and they release the locks, and you can remove these from the back of the radio. The only problem we have here is the airbag sensor. Now we've disconnected the stereo, but we haven't disconnected the one connector that goes into the face of the radio. We have the radio upside down right now, but the passenger airbag light is here along with the sensor light over here on the right. What we're going to do is take our small flathead screwdriver, and there's a little trigger on the side of this that we're going to pull out, and this will allow us to loosen the connector from the car stereo bracket. But now we have the control panel that goes across the front of the front face. And it looks like there's two screws down there, but at each end there's a little metal clamp. We're going to push that in towards the center of the car, and it's going to allow this control panel to push down, and it comes out the front face, and we're going to feed it back through the front face and bring it back. We have our passenger airbag and the key in the ignition on this side. We're not going to disconnect this. Disconnecting this can send a signal to the car that the airbag's been on, and you may have to go to the dealership and have them clear that on the computer. But this is how you remove the stereo from a 2010 Toyota Highlander. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.